Good afternoon, grade 10 and grade 12. This is the last Friday of Deadline 4. Deadline 4 officially ends on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. So far I've received quite a few assignments, the Tombstone projects and summaries for Hamlet for the grade 12s, and Ender's Games assignments, summaries, and projects for Ender's Game for the grade 10s. And so please continue to get that in by Sunday. And then switch gears to focus on TED Talks. And a reminder about TED Talks, your information about TED Talks are located in your course outline booklet. And all the information on how to do your TED Talk is stated there. Just keep in mind your respective themes for your course. So grade 12s is world views, and grade 10, it's challenges of life or mysteries of life. And the time limit is 3 to 10 minutes. Please save your video as an MP4 and either submit to Google Classroom. Hopefully it will work. If it doesn't work, then your backup plan will be to email me your link through your Google Docs or other platform that you have saved the video at that I can access and assess accordingly. You'll receive 1 mark for your create and compose for the actual video presentation of your speech. And then your secondary mark, it's either 0 out of 30 or 30 out of 30 for the written component for your comprehend and respond. And so it's either the notes you used or the written component. You can have the speech in front of you if you need to. And if you're using PowerPoint, and especially if you're using Zoom to record, you can share your document and have your PowerPoint presentation right there. And it would look exactly like the videos I've done where my video of myself gets plopped up in the corner there, and then I can proceed with the presentation. So if you are choosing to do PowerPoint presentations, be sure that it is just highlighting key points of your speech. You're not putting your whole speech in there verbatim or word for word. And any pictures, information that you use should be referenced. So especially if you are using any books or texts that we've done in this course, or if you borrowed images or information from other websites, you need to cite that, MLA8, and the information for that is in your course online booklet. Regarding the course online booklet, I would suggest that you keep the referencing portion before you decide to recycle the book. Keep that safely stowed away in your binders for next year, so that you have access to that guide for MLA8, and I think the grade 12s have APA as well. So you can be using the MLA8 and APA guide for your post-secondary needs. And always, as usual, you have access to the LibGuide. All the information's there as well to help you with your papers in post-secondary, and the same goes for grade 10 going to grade 11. You have that guide as well. So it's one-stop shopping to get your information and meet your respective needs. So please utilize that because it's available. So I never had that information when I was going to when I was in high school. I didn't have those guides to help me, and you as students today are very fortunate that you have that access to resources and you have those guides. So I really encourage you to utilize those resources that are made available to you by your teachers, and especially with the technological age, it's very easy to meet the requirements of your course, especially when it comes to referencing and validation and so on and so forth. On a side note, I do want to commend the grade 12s for the tombstones projects that have come in already. And the insightful approaches that some of you have taken. There's one that stands out right now. A student did Polonius, and the student had a very interesting perspective, different from what I presented, which is fine. And I would have loved to have had a debate or discussion about the unique aspects of Polonius. Was there a different side to the character that stood out for you while studying the play? In this case, there was a different aspect that the student found, and it was very insightful. And so grade 10 and 12, if you have those insights and you can see that there's another perspective that hasn't been addressed either by the teacher or by the class, step up to the plate and state your ideas and validate it appropriately. I've stated that often, as if you have an opinion, have your supported information that will validate that opinion. In most cases, you might be able to persuade, maybe change the perspectives of those you're having that discussion with, whether it's in a research paper or in a debate or discussion, that kind of thing. You may not be able to persuade or change the minds of the individuals, but we do respect those opinions, because you have taken the time to step out of your comfort zone and take that leap of faith and trust that what you are how you're reading the text and understanding the text, you're meeting the requirements of the class, but you're also taking it a step further in that critical and creative manner, and that will be your key to success in the future. So keep doing what you're doing there. What I appreciated about the project was that the student felt the need to explain why the student was taking this approach. And that is, they didn't have to do a write-up for the tombstone, except for the epitaph, but the student felt that there had to be an explanation in order to fully understand why this presentation, this tombstone, was done the way it was done. And that, again, appreciated that very, very much. So thank you very much for doing that, and for all the students that, with your projects, especially doing them from home and during these unprecedented ways. We've had some really good projects. We had a cake done by one grade 10 student for, I heard the owl call my name, and it looked like an owl, like an actual owl. So really done well, and explained well, so that the explanation shared the connections to the novel and the key plot points and themes and so on and so forth. So we had a few other students taking pictures with their projects, so those were really good too, and we've been able to share that with my colleagues as well. The staff at school know that you all are doing an amazing job. You do wonderful projects, and it's evident by the museum we have in the classroom, and of course all the submissions when they come in. It's just amazing what you are doing. So proud of you all. Okay, so let's finish up strong with the TED Talks, and if you want to discuss resubmissions and stuff like that, please give me a shout. Okay, have a great weekend. Be safe, take care, keep working on social distancing, following those guidelines as well, and let's be sure that we're taking care of ourselves. And we'll see you Monday for Deadline 5. Take care, be safe.